alternative rock and lady singers galore. No matter the era, the style of song, rock keeps changing, but it's 50 years strong. You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past.
Hi, I'm John Sebastian, and today on the golden age of rock and roll, we'll look back at a style that's near and dear to me, folk rock. Now, by far the pivotal event in this marriage of folk and rock music was Bob Dylan's 1965 decision to, quote, go electric. Dylan's accompaniment for his meteoric rise through New York's Greenwich Village coffeehouse circuit had been the standard folk singer package, acoustic guitar and harmonica. But at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965, Dylan plugged in an electric guitar. He was shouted off the stage after 3 numbers by reactionary folkies. Dylan persisted, and in the rare piece of footage we're about to see, he's on European tour with his permanent electric backup group, which was later to split off on its own and become the band. Bob Dylan plugging in an electric guitar wasn't the beginning of folk rock. The Byrds did electric versions of Dylan tunes before Dylan himself. Bob's Mr. Tambourine Man was the Byrds' breakthrough hit. This is Turn, 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 a setting of a passage from the book of Ecclesiastes, music written by another of the great names in traditional folk circles, Pete Seeger. And note the Byrds' personnel. Roger McGuinn playing an electric 12-string guitar and wearing his characteristic spectacles screen right, sharing the lead vocal with Gene Clark. Far left, bass player Chris Hillman, and the guitarist second from the left, a very young David Crosby.
The season, turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to the season turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stars together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season turn, 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 and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
The onset of folk rock didn't mean that traditional folk instrumentation had disappeared. A generation of young singer-songwriters was emerging in the 60s that was never to completely convert to the rock style. And usually, the grand folk music tradition of politics and protest was the subject matter for this new breed of urban poet. People like Phil Ochs, who gave voice to a generation that was being asked to fight a war it never quite understood. I Ain't Marchin' Anymore may have been in the traditional style, but in 1965, it was as contemporary as concerns over just what was being accomplished in the jungles of Vietnam.
Oh, I marched to the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the early British War. The young land started growing, young blood started flowing, but I ain't marching anymore. For I'd killed my share of Injuns in 1,000 different fights. I was there at the Little Big Horn. I heard many men a-lying, I saw many more a-dying, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old to lead us to the wars. It's always the young to fall. Now look at all we've won with the saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? For I stole California from the Mexican land, fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brother, so many others, but I ain't marching anymore. For I flew the final mission in the Japanese sky, set off the mighty mushroom roar. When I saw the cities burning, I knew that I was learning that I ain't marching anymore. Now the labor leaders screaming when they close a missile plant. United Fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or call it treason, call it love or call it reason, but I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore.
Up next, the Lovin' Spoonful and Sonny and Cher. For the performance of the greatest group in the history of upright man. Greenwich Village in the early 60s was an amazing melting pot, not just of musical styles, but of social attitudes. Down the street from the protest singers, a particularly unfashionable attitude was hatching at the Night Owl Cafe. The idea that music didn't have to address political issues. Do You Believe in Magic was a song written about a transition witnessed by four guys named the Lovin' Spoonful. Within 2 months, their jug band rock and roll changed their audience from beatnik chess players and turtlenecked women with ironed hair to genuine New York teeny boppers from Queens. What's not to like?
Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is makes you feel happy like an old-time movie. I'll tell you about the magic and it'll free your soul, but it's like trying to tell a stranger about a rock and roll. Believe in magic, don't bother to choose if it's jug band music or rhythm and blues. Just go and listen. It'll start with a smile that won't wipe off your face, no matter how hard you try. Your feet start tapping and you can't seem to find how you got.
Familiar about that auto harp player. In the mid-60s, folk rock groups were springing up everywhere, often converting from other styles that were less in vogue. For instance, the Turtles started out in California as a surf band until their record company, White Whale, nudged them into folk rock. The group featured two of rock's more creative characters, Howard Kaylan and Mark Volman, who not only went on to score huge pop hits like Happy Together, but later joined Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention. They finally formed the semi-satiric duo Flo and Eddie. Here are Kaylan singing lead and Volman, the guy wearing glasses and singing backup, on their top 10 folk rock smash written by, who else? Bob Dylan.
I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for someone who's never weak, but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are
In 1965, it was becoming difficult to keep count of the folk rock groups coast to coast. And folk rock, like other styles, had developed its own one-hit wonders, like the Wee Five from the Bay Area, a group founded by Mike Stewart, whose brother was in the Kingston Trio. The Wee Five's San Francisco folk scene cohorts included the first incarnation of the Jefferson Airplane. But the Wee Five's career never took off like that of their friends. The group had but one brief shining moment in 1965. That's when their version of a tune by Sylvia Fricker of the acoustic folk duo Ian and Sylvia hit the top 10. The Wee Five were soon forgotten, but not so their folk rock classic.
When I woke up this morning, you were on my mind, and you were on my mind. I got troubles, oh, I got worries, oh, I got wounds to bind. So I went to the corner just to ease my pain, just to ease my pain. I got trouble, I got worried, oh, I came home again. But I woke up this morning, you were on my mind.
Sherilyn Sarkisian and Salvatore Sonny Bono met singing backup on some Phil Spector sessions in 1963. They married in '64 and formed a duo called Caesar and Cleo, with little success. Bono, meanwhile, broke through as a songwriter, co-writing Needles and Pins, a hit for the Searchers early in the British invasion. But it was as Sonny and Cher that Bono and Sarkisian became household names, embracing folk rock with their hippie-style outfits and churning out a string of smash hits beginning in 1965. Check out their relationship as Cher sings All I Really Want to Do, written by, do I detect a pattern here? Bob Dylan.
I cheat, I mistreat you, simplify you, classify you, deny, defy, or mystify you. All I really wanna do is, baby, be friends with you, baby, be friends with you. Frightened, you are up or track or trace you, or disgrace you, or displace you, or define you, or define you. All I really wanna do, yeah, baby, be friends with you. Baby, be friends with you. Now I don't want to meet your kin, make you spin or do you in, or select you, or deflect you, or infect you, or reject you. All I really wanna do is baby, be friends with you. Baby, be friends with you.
Next up, the Mamas and the Papas and Simon and Garfunkel.
You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past.
The Mamas and the Papas created some of the most impressive vocal harmonies in the golden age of rock and roll. The group rose from the ashes of several of the multitude of folk rock bands on the Greenwich Village scene. Let's see. Group organizer John Phillips came from the Journeymen, later the New Journeymen. Denny Doherty came from the Halifax Three to a quartet called the Mugwumps, where he was joined by brilliant singer Cass Elliot from the Big Three, and my pal Zal Yanofsky, and me. I lasted about 2 weeks. Then, when the Mugwumps broke up, John Phillips, his wife Michelle, who'd only been singing for 3 months, Denny Doherty, and Cass Elliot formed the Mamas and the Papas. Got it? The Mamas and the Papas' California Dreamin' became a reality as the music scene shifted west in 1966. This version of their greatest hit comes from the historic Monterey Pop Festival.
All the leaves are brown, leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. On a winter's day. I could safe and warm if I was in LA. If I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day. I stopped into a church I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees, and I pretended to pray. You know the preacher likes to told. He knows I'm gonna stay. Knows I'm gonna stay. California dreaming on such a winter's day. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. I came for a walk on a winter's day. On a winter's day. If I didn't tell her, I could leave today. I could leave today. California dreaming on such a winter's day. California dreaming on such a winter's day.
Richie Havens was one of the most unique talents on the folk rock scene. Havens began by singing gospel and doo-wop in a Brooklyn ghetto, moved to Greenwich Village to become an artist, and supported himself by painting portraits of tourists. In his spare time, he started hanging around the coffee house circuit and decided to try his hand at folk music. Richie taught himself to play guitar using an unorthodox open tuning that helped create unusual chord patterns and a distinctive percussive strumming style. Here's Richie Haven's best-known anti-war song. He's performing at the bitter end, perhaps the most famous of the Greenwich Village coffee houses.
Hey, look yonder, tell me what's that you see? Marching to the fields of Concord. Looks like handsome Johnny with a flintlock in his hand, marching to the Concord War. Hey, marching to the Concord War. Hey, look yonder, tell me what you see. Marching to the fields of Gettysburg. Looks like handsome Johnny with a musket in his hand, marching to the Gettysburg War. Marching to the Gettysburg War. Yeah. Hey, look yonder, tell me what you see. Marching to the fields of Dunkirk. Looks like handsome Johnny with a carbine in his hand, marching to the Dunkirk War. Hey, marching to the Dunkirk War. And it's a long, hard road. It's a long, hard road. It's a long, hard road. Hey, before we'll be free. Hey, before we'll be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, look yonder, tell me what you see. Marching to the fields of Vietnam. Looks like handsome Johnny with an M15, marching to the Vietnam War. Hey, marching to the Vietnam War. Hey, look yonder, tell me what you see. Marching to the fields of Birmingham. Looks like handsome Johnny with his hand rolled in a pit, marching to the Birmingham War. Hey, marching to the Birmingham War. Hey, what's the use of singing this song? Some of you are not even listening. Tell me what it is we've got to do. Wait for our peals to start listening. Hey, wait for the bullets to start whistling. Here comes a hydrogen bomb. And here comes a guidance zone. Here comes a hydrogen bomb. I can almost hear its whistle. I can almost hear its whistle. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel found out they could harmonize well in the 6th grade. They met in a school production of Alice in Wonderland, in which Simon played the White Rabbit and Garfunkel the Cheshire Cat. Their record, Hey Schoolgirl, recorded in their teens as Tom and Jerry, got them onto American Bandstand. The duo then split up until the mid-'60s, when they made a folk album with only Simon's acoustic guitar as backup. Sales quickly stalled. But producer Tom Wilson took the liberty of remixing one of the album cuts, Sounds of Silence, and adding electric guitar, bass, and drums to the original track. The new folk rock record became the #1 song in America. Here are Simon and Garfunkel with one of their later hits at Monterey Pop.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do-do-do, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy.
Donovan Leitch grew up in Glasgow and started as an acoustic folk singer. He made his U.S. performing debut at the 1965 Newport Folk Festival, the one where Bob Dylan was booed for going electric. Soon, Donovan went not just electric, but psychedelic, at least in a gentle, folksy sort of a way. He helped nudge folk rock into the late 60s with Mellow Yellow, though he swore its lyrics had nothing to do with smoking banana peels. Donovan's biggest hit and only #1 was also the subject of what we can now view as one of the earliest music videos. Check out Sunshine Superman, vintage 1966.
Sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have tripped out easy, but I've changed my ways. It'll take time, I know it, but in a while you're gonna be mine, I know it. We'll do it in style, 'cause I've made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I'll tell you right now, ain't a trick in a book, and a baby, all that I can find. Everybody's hustling just to have a little scene. When I say we'll be cool, I think that you know what I mean. We stood on a beach at sunset. Do you remember when? I know a beach where, baby, it never ends. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine, I'll pick up your hand and slowly blow your little mind, 'cause I've made my mind up, you're going to be mine. I'll tell you right now, ain't a trick in a book, and now baby, oh, that I can find. Superman or Green Lantern ain't got nothing on me. I can make like a turtle and dive far. You're puzzling the sea. Yep. I give you can just sit there while thinking on your velvet throne. Got all the rainbows that you can have for your own. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine, I'll pick up your hand and slowly blow your little mind. When you've made your mind up forever to be mine.
Coming up, Bill Withers and Don McLean.
You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past.
Bill Withers from Slab Fort, West Virginia, was almost 30 years old, working as a mechanic in the mid-60s, making $3.50 an hour. That was when he also started writing songs and teaching himself to play guitar. Withers moved to L.A. and got a job at an aerospace factory. Meanwhile, he started making demo records. Booker T. Jones of Booker T. and the MGs heard one and agreed to produce Withers' first album. Ironically, that same month, Withers was laid off his factory job. So Bill Withers made his professional singing debut at the age of 32. A year later, he wrote and recorded a tune that's not precisely folk, not precisely soul, but is one of the golden age of rock and roll's best-loved songs.
Times in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have pain. You need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. For me, if you need a friend, call me up.
As an enduring classic, Lean on Me is a tough act to follow, but our final folk rock selection can actually lay claim to being one of the most popular songs of all time. In fact, this song is so famous that its composer, Don McLean, tried to distance himself from it for years in order to remind people that he was more than just this one tune. The song wasn't your typical hit record. It was so long that when McLean first performed it, he had a lady come out of the audience to hold the lyrics for him. But now, people all over the world can sing along with Don McLean's story. Inspired by the day Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and Richie Valens were killed in a plane crash in 1959.
You sing the chorus with me, all right? Loud and clear. So bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Now do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym while you kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. Now the love said the music wouldn't play. In the streets, the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken. The church bells all were broken, and the three men I admire most, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, why, they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died. They were singing, sing it for me now. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Oh, I shoved it to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing this'll be the day that I die.
Rock and roll started with a rhythm and blues. A hip-shaking kid made it wicked and cruel. Then an invasion by four long-haired lads, metal and glamour, punks and cool fads. You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past. It makes no difference as long as it's rock. You still gotta play it full blast. A newbie came rapping at a rock and roll store. Alternative rock and lady singers galore. No matter the era, the style of song, rock keeps changing, but it's 50 years strong. You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past. It makes no difference as long as it's rock. You still gotta play it full blast. You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past. It makes no difference as long as it's rock. You can't compare the rock of today with the rock and roll from the past.
Yip, 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 yip.